Alright, welcome back.
Welcome back.
So, yes,
Stellaris. Okay.
Stellaris.
You're gonna actually be like, wow, this is good. So, in this game, they had, there's 3 different, like, so you can play a normal robot race, like, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's 3, like, archetypical robot races you can play.
Yeah.
That are based on different, like, books and movies and different things that are like, okay, this could be what is. One's the Terminator.
Of course. The classic.
The other one is like the Borg from Star Trek.
Yeah, the other classic.
Will take over the world and blah blah. Will assimilate all humans.
Assimilate.
And then the other one that I'm like, okay, let's see that happening too, which is, I forget what they're called in the game, but it's basically, they basically become like Equali's robots of like, we're gonna take care of humanity. And I can see that one happening too.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's gonna be one of those 3.
It's gonna be one of those 3 for sure. I like, it's gonna be one of those 3. They're all so similar. Who knows what they could be?
It's either going to be robots taking over, or robots taking over.
The Deus Ex call on it was that eventually humans and robots would assimilate into each other and become one with the same.
Yes.
And Elon Musk agrees 100% with that statement. And I kind of sort of agree with Elon Musk on it. And I like how Elon Musk put it, because he's just like... He's like, essentially his statement was, because if we can't beat them, we should probably join them. And he's like, because he's already said, like, we're not going to be able to beat AI robots. He's like, so we should just merge with them and call it.
Let's be honest.
And I kind of don't disagree, because I'm like, it would be very easy for them to be like, time for humans to die, and us humans would just be like, well,
we got nothing we can do. You guys control our entire world.
Yeah, well, alright. We could go back to Stone Age style, like, that time traveler movie. Where you go so far into the future that all of the humanity collapses and they get sent back to the Stone Age. That'd be something.
There's, I'm blanking on the game right now. It's a PlayStation exclusive.
Oh, you're talking Horizon Zero Dawn.
Horizon
right?
Zero Dawn, yeah. Where humanity has literally devolved back into
prehistoric
time because we fucked up.
See, I'm not a fan of that game just because I don't understand why the robots just decided to also devolve into dinosaurs. Like, I legitimately am just like, that's just dumb.
There's a reason for why they're designed like that.
No,
I forget.
I know there is, I just don't care. Like, it just strikes me immediately as stupid.
It bothers you, no, I get it.
Because at first I was like, so it's like a fantasy world, right? And they're like, no, it's our world, but in the future. And I'm just like, well, that's dumb. Also, I don't like all the... It has too many of the, like, boring tropes, in my opinion, for a game for me to be interested in playing. Because it's like, she's an outcast because she's better at everything that she does, but they don't like her because she's too much better than everyone. Thus, she's exiled from the clan, but she still has to do missions for the clan because she's just so fucking perfect. And I'm just like, I don't fucking care. Like, it's so boring and generic to me.
It's one of those games that I was like, actually, I kind of want to pick it up, and then I never did.
I always hate storylines like that, where they're just like, you are exiled from the tribe, and then they're like, but also come back and do missions for us. It's like, no, fuck you, I'm not gonna do that. And they're like, but it has to progress the story because the ending is happy ending where you become one with the tribe again. I'm like, no, fuck your tribe. I've already established that I'm better than every single one of you. Why would I come back?
I am the tribe.
I am the tribe now. I'm waging war against your tribe. I want a video game, that's what I want. I want a video game where I get exiled from the tribe, but then I get to make my own decision where I can just murder the entire tribe.
Well, yeah.
And become my own tribe of one. But you can't do that. Video games are the illusion of choice, not actual choice. Like, you can choose whether you do a mission for them or not, but you can't choose to kill them. That would be wrong.
I love it, the illusion of choice, because it's so true.
That's what it's interesting, because the more we get into like video games, the more we get to like video games aren't about choice. It's about the illusion of choice, because choice makes time and money.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And video games are already too expensive to make, so here's some loot boxes.
Who doesn't like a good loot box?
And it's funny because now game prices are going up to $70 and there's still loot boxes in it, and everyone's just like, can you believe it? I'm like, yeah, it's because you guys let them leave $60 games for too long, and now they're like, well, we already were getting away with it, we're not gonna stop now. You already gave them too much leeway. It's on you.
It's almost comical watching people be like, what is going on? That's ridiculous. And it's like, you guys do know that it's because of the way that...
We should have left games how it was back in the 80s and 90s, which is the price of your game was determined by how much money you put into it. So, like, not every game was $60. If you spent fucking $50 million to make the game, you'd release the game for $80. And if you spent fucking $100,000 to make it, maybe you only release it for $50. Like, that's how it should have stayed. Because when they said every game needs to be $60, it created this fucking system where it was like, well, now we need to sell 1 billion fucking copies, or this game is a failure.
Yeah.
And, like,
it's so funny system. Because, like, you look at, what are they called? Indie games?
Yeah.
And it's just like, they're $20 because they're like...
Yeah, because they're made cheap.
Because we put some effort into it, and it's our passion project, not a huge AAA project that they're trying to milk money out of you.
No, it's not even about milking money out of you. If a AAA game could not be sold for $20, dude, a AAA game being sold for, I think my favorite example is one of the I forget which one it was, but one of the Tomb Raider games, the new ones. Mm-hmm. One of the new Tomb Raider games came out. Sold for $60 on launch. Brand new fucking game. Sold, I think it was almost 2 million fucking units in like the first week, and was considered a failure. Like, it's because the game was too fucking low of price for how much money they put into making it. And any studio can release their game for $20 because they don't have that many people to fucking pay.
Yeah.
A AAA studio has to pay hundreds of fucking people.
Yeah.
Like, ridiculously high amounts of money, and then, like, still pull a profit somehow.
Yeah.
And the only way to pull that profit is to make, like, which is why loot boxes exist, and then everyone's gonna be like, no, loot boxes shouldn't exist because blah blah blah, and it's like, yeah, because the game prices need to go higher, and now everyone's like, if game prices go up though, and then they're gonna keep the loot boxes. I'm like, yeah, because you already told them it was okay.
Oh my god.
You already told them it was okay, because, and it's not like, no, we didn't. Everyone is against loot boxes. And I'm like, yeah, but you keep fucking buying the games that have them. You keep paying for the fucking loot boxes. It doesn't mean anything if you keep giving them fucking money. You can bitch about it all day, but if people keep paying for it, they're gonna just go, well, it's still working, I don't care. Like,
yeah. To be honest, people don't seem to think.
Like, then there's the other argument that loot boxes are gambling. And it's like, they are inherently not gambling. And then everyone gets mad at me because they're like, it's 100% gambling. It is not gambling. Gambling is throwing your money at a machine and then having the odds of you getting nothing back. Loot boxes is throwing your money at the machine and you get something. It's literally the equivalent of buying a pack of trading cards. Trading cards are not gambling. That's not how gambling works.
People don't understand definitions.
Yeah, like, they tried getting the ESRB to be, like, classify loot boxes as gambling, and the ESRB looked into it and said, no, it is not classified as gambling. And
it's
now,
incredibly shady, yes.
Like, it's obnoxious and not fun, and you shouldn't ever pay for a loot box. You just shouldn't.
Yeah.
But, like...
That's why I like when games are like, you can get loot boxes by playing the game.
Yeah, and then it's like... But then they're like, how dare they? How dare they not classify these as gambling? Other countries have classified it as gambling, and I'm like, yeah, but that's because other countries are stupid. It's funny, because whenever it's like a country that classifies something as gambling, I'm also like, yeah, it's also a country that, like, inherently has been very opposed to video games as a whole. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, yeah, no shit. It's just one more step for them to ban video games outright in the future. Like, of course they're gonna be like, this is gambling, fucking illegal. Like, it's easy when you do it that way.
It's easy when you make the rules.
It's easy when you make the fucking rules. Fucking... And I know they'd lose, because everyone wants them to be, like, make it a law over here, too, and I'm like, why do we want the government, a body that has been so starkly opposed to video games for decades, to be in charge of making laws for the thing that they don't want us to have?
Yeah.
Why do any of you think that's a good fucking idea? When you can explain that to me, I'll be on board with you that it's gambling. Like, but until then, no.
Nah, people don't want to think there, Chris.
And I know they're like, but there's a bunch of research on it that shows that loot boxes have the same psychological effects of gambling, and I'm just like, just because it has the same psychological effects does not inherently make it gambling. Gambling isn't based off of... The definition of what gambling isn't based off of what psychological effects it has on a person. It's based off of, if you put money in, what are your chances of not getting that money back? That is the only thing that determines it's gambling. It has nothing to do with the psychological ramifications, it has nothing to do with fucking what you get in return, it simply has to do with what are the odds, percentage-wise, that you will get your money back and then some, or lose all of it. That's it. That's what gambling is. Trying to fucking jerry-rig this fucking definition of, well, it's hurting people, therefore bad, is not gambling. That's not what gambling... It's like, drinking hurts people, it's not gambling. Fucking... Smoking is bad for you, it's not gambling.
Well, yeah. Smoking is bad for you. It is not gambling.
Smoking has the same concepts of gambling. It makes you addicted to it, it's bad for you, and you get nothing in return. It's still not fucking gambling. Like, you can jerry-rig this argument to anything if you want. It doesn't make it true. Like, if I buy a bag of Skittles and I don't get a green fucking Skittle, can I sue the company for not... Because that's gambling. I didn't get the color I wanted when I spent my money. Like, no.
I think you could, Chris.
No, you can't. But if they pass this law that determine that loot boxes are gambling because you don't get what you want from spending money on the boxes... then I could make the argument I didn't get a green Skittle, which is the Skittle I wanted for my bag of Skittles, and sue the company for gambling. That's how fucking stupid passing this law would be.
Side tangent for a moment here. I had somebody who, their mother didn't like the taste of the red Skittle or something.
So she'd always take it out.
So she'd take it out, and I just remember them coming in with this huge bag of just red Skittles, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, fucking... apparently that's pretty common, which is the weirdest shit to me.
And you know what the weirdest thing about Skittles are is... If you don't know what color you're putting in your mouth...
You can't really tell what
taste what it is,
yeah,
because
right?
they're all the same.
You can... It's the outer coating. The outer coating tastes slightly different. But, like, once that coating is gone, they all taste like Skittles.
It's just food coloring.
No. They have slightly different taste, but only on the outer coat. So, like, the hard coat.
Is that why if you put them in water, they all just taste the same?
Yes, absolutely. Because once it's gone, like, they all taste like Skittles underneath that hard coat.
It's just pure, unadulterated sugar.
Yeah. See, I couldn't even tell you what each individual Skittle tastes like, because whenever I eat Skittles, I just take a fucking fistful of them and slam them into my mouth.
Same. I think about it, I haven't had Skittles in a while. Yes. I would want some.
Same. Dude, I get. Dude, it's Halloween. You go trick-or-treating for them.
Oh, wait. Halloween's cancelled.
You can go dressed as someone afraid of COVID.
That was good. That was good.
Dude, fucking, I don't know if I've ever brought it up, but at my old work, they used to let you, like, dress up for Halloween. And I'd always forget every single year. So I'd, like, go into work and they'd just be like, oh, you didn't dress up? And I'd be like, oh, no, I dressed up. I dressed up as minimum wage overworked employee.
Mine was broke college student. That was what I love to say. I'm dressed up. I'm dressed up as broke college student.
Yeah, it's like my favorite. It's just I'm dressed up. I'm dressed up as minimum wage overworked employee. And then everyone would be like, "That's a good costume."
I love mine though. I'm broke college student.
That is a good one. Dude, back when I was, a little kid and I used to go trick-or-treating with my parents, my dad used to bring his own fucking bag. And would also get candy at the churros because they'd be like, oh man, dads want candy too. And they'd always give him candy. Or if they asked, what the hell are you dressed up as? He'd be like, I'm Flashlight Man. Because he'd be the one who carries the flashlight.
You told me this one. I loved that. I'm Flashlight Man.
And... And when I have kids, I'm 100% doing this exact
You're
same thing.
100% gonna be Flashlight Man?
I'm 100% gonna be Flashlight Man.
It's a great costume, Chris.
It's very effective. I started doing that in my last couple of years of Halloween, when I didn't actually want to dress up. I would just wear random fucking shit and then just be like, I'm this. And people would just be like, okay, I'll just give you candy.
They don't care, that's why.
Oh, yeah. I used to just put on a fucking gas mask and then they'd just be like, what are you? And I'd be like, Doomer. Be like a Doomer, and they're like, cool.
Whatever. Just get off my lawn.
Or they'd be like, I'd be like, the end is coming, and they'd be like, cool.
What are you? I don't know, just get off my lawn.
There was one day I just wore, like, all camo, like, clothes. Not, like, a camo suit, like, for the army. Just, like, clothes that had camo pattern.
Yeah.
And a fucking, like, army helmet. And just walked around, and they were like, cool.
Good enough.
I had one old person who was like, G.I. Joe, and I was like, sure.
Just give me candy.
Sure.
What are you, Flashlight Man? I love it. So stupid, I love it.
I think that was like the last 2 years I went trick-or-treating, and then after that I was like, alright, I'm done with this shit. Now I spend my Halloweens like any true adult, sitting in my room with all the lights off so no one comes to my house to bother me.
Too real.
No, I'm just kidding. We do Halloween. We do Halloween here, but the area is horrible for Halloween. We get like 2 trick-or-treaters like every year.
No, I get it. I get it.
There's like nothing.
Like where we live, no one ever comes.
Yeah, we used to live in
right
an
down
area
the street
that's a lot,
is that
but...
development, and everybody always just goes there.
Yeah, it just goes there now. It's so weird, man. It used to be like no matter where you went, you could go like trick-or-treating, and now we're like at the point where it's like you go to like set area neighborhoods,
yeah,
and like everyone goes to those areas, and like that's it. Which sucks for those people because they really got to tack on the candy or they're
My coworker's husband is super into Halloween, and like she showed me a video of what her husband has done with the house.
Yeah, and
he's gonna build a little like tunnel thing.
Yeah,
so he can send candy down to people. And I'm just like, whatever floats his boat, I guess.
I mean, we can do... See, I know they're probably just going to cancel Halloween, but it's like, we can do Halloween.
Yeah.
Like, just wear a mask and you'll be fine.
So...
I mean, it's Halloween, you're probably already wearing one anyways. Like, I don't get the whole need to shut it down, honestly.
I know they did it in Boston. They haven't, like, shut down it in Boston, but they've said, maintain distance.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. We want to cancel it, but we're not going to.
Well, it's just funny to me, because it's just like, if you're going to a store and you're going to be shoulder to shoulder with people, you gotta wear a mask, but, you know, try and be distant, but then it's just like, fucking, we're going to people's houses. If you're wearing a mask, isn't it the same fucking deal? Like, we're running into people we don't know in areas that we're close and fine with them, whatever.
So, here's what it is, Chris, is COVID's actually a very smart... and it knows when to actually attack people or not.
Yeah, like, it's like, Halloween is my time to strike. Supermarkets? Nah.
No,
Halloween.
Supermarkets, yes. Halloween and when you're eating at restaurants? No.
No, yeah, it never happens.
You've heard that one, right?
Oh my god, it's so stupid. COVID is so stupid.
I had a person say to me, yeah, no, COVID's super smart. You know, it's very polite, and when you're eating, it's not going to attack you. And when you're... he was joking around, but...
Yeah, no, I get it. Good to clarify for the audience, though.
But it was like oh my god, this is fucking great.
It is... really accurate, though, isn't it?
Yeah, no, this has been an interesting year.
COVID's just the smartest disease ever.
Yeah, it's
it's
so
just
smart.
That's just how it is. I would know. I was part of the development team.
Beat me by 2 seconds. Don't make that joke. People might get really actually upset.
I'm not saying it was invented by the government on purpose.
By the Chinese government to
I'm
eradicate.
just saying that it was definitely from a lab that happens to study diseases. The fact that it got out might have been an accident, but I'm just saying it's not going to look good either way.
Oh my god. Dude, if it comes out that this was created...
It was created. There's no if. It was 100%.
If it was a staged thing and
if it was
deliberately
that's,
put out...
That's the difference. If it was
if it was
staged and
deliberately
deliberately put out. That we don't know.
People are going to lose their minds. It's most certainly going to be World War III.
I think we're already heading there.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
You know,
No, that's coming within our lifespan.
But we gotta wait for COVID to end to start.
Yeah, let's be honest.
So now we're just waiting. we're just waiting now.
So bad, like that's probably going to happen.
It depends. We're either gonna have a world war or a civil war. I'm not sure which is more likely to happen at this point. It's like they're neck and neck right now, so I'm just kind of like.
I was watching a video and they were talking about that America is going to fall. It's not going to fall, but it's going to be like the. How do I phrase this? Like the Roman Empire.
Oh.
And I was like, I kind of see where you're coming from with that.
I still don't think it will happen, but I do get. There's a lot of stuff like that. My favorite are like. There's this one dude I remember watching years ago, like 2010 years ago.
Oh boy!
But he had like a video on you. No, it was 2012 because he had a video on his channel that was just like America is gonna end in 2012, all social collapse, and America stands no chance. And then if you went to his channel, like every single video was the collapse of America is gonna happen in 2011, 2010, 2009, 2008, and I'm just like, yeah, if you keep making them, eventually you'll be right, dude.
Yeah, I mean, if you keep guessing, maybe you'll get right at some point.
It's like, I believe the end of the world is gonna happen in 2020. And if we make it to 2021, then I think it will happen in 2021. Eventually, I'll be correct.
Yeah, at some point we'll be there.
If I just change my answer, then eventually I'll be right.
Oh my god, I hate people.
But, fucking people are stupid. The human race...
I
know I keep making the joke, the human race was a mistake.
Yeah, no, I get it.
The human race was a mistake. Only machineries will be our future.
I get it. I agree.
Honestly, I'm just waiting to the point where we invent robots, and at that point we invent a way to upload our consciousness into the internet, and at that point I'm just uploading my consciousness into a robot. Yes, I'll live forever, but I won't have to worry about frivolous things anymore. Like eating and other people.
But then you'd be part of the collective, Chris.
That's not necessarily true. We could be part of a huge consciousness while we still all have our individualities.
That's true.
We don't necessarily need to be a hive mind. But that being said, there's technically nothing stopping us from being a hive mind either, so take that for what you will. I'm looking forward to it.
So I guess,
I think it'll be interesting.
I don't remember who made this, proposed this concept, but do you know what a Dyson sphere is?
Dyson sphere?
Okay, this is a long topic, so so I might wait on this one.
Okay, that seems reasonable.
Until we start the next part. But it's one of those holy moly, this is a big topic.
It's funny because you said Dyson sphere, and the first thing I thought about was the people who make the vacuums.
Yes, I'm not gonna stop you. That's what I first thought when I read it. I was like, Dyson sphere, what? Like the vacuum? And then I was like, oh no, this is a real thing.
What I like about Dyson is that they're a company that sells old technology as new technology, and then claims to be very smart. That's my favorite part about them. Like, they made the bladeless fan. They're like, we've made a bladeless fan. It pushes air without using a blade. And it's like, all they did was put the blade in the base, and then the base pushes the air up through the bottom, through the holes.
Yeah.
To give the illusion that it's bladeless. It still has a blade, they just moved the fucking blade. Genius company. They sold millions.
They did, that's the sad part.
Anyways, with that, we're gonna pick it up on the next part, though. We'll see you then. Peace.